Welcome to All My Friends Are Cooler Than Me. I'm Wes,
And I'm Dr. Laura. Enjoy today's episode.
and learn how to be just a little bit cooler. Today, we are here with DeAndre Downs, who is my favorite comedian. And I know there's a lot of comedians out there that think they're funny, but they're not as funny as he is. And I firmly believe that to the core of my being. Additionally, he's one of the coolest dudes I know. I've worked with him several times now. I've known him for a couple of years, and every single time we have ever hung out, ever engaged, there's chaos all around us. People are losing their minds, and there's always one guy who's just perfectly calm in the center of the storm, big old smile on his face. And as soon as he starts talking, you just see people start laughing and getting engaged and happy, and you just see this like ray of sunshine start expanding outwards from him wherever he is. We've done some awesome things, some fun things, but at the end of the day, he's one of those guys that every time I've been with him, we've done some good things, and that's really important to me, and it's why I think that he's a lot cooler than I am. Yeah, is that a fair
I
assessment?
like that. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Wes.
So I guess my question for you to kind of kick us off is, where did you learn that resilience? Because we've been in some situations before where everybody around us is falling apart, and you were that like sense of calm, and then you turn that tide back into joy, happiness, laughter.
It was something I learned as like growing up, because like for me growing up, I used to get bullied because I was like short and small. And growing up, it was like if I had a joke on people or people joking on me, and then I turned it into a positive. Like, yeah, I do get mad, but I realize life is too short. I've seen people get like knocked out for not speaking up for themselves, or like somebody diffusing the situation. So uh, I was one of them people that just like, you know what? If I can't beat you, I can make you laugh and you'll forget about it.
Fair. How many times did it take you getting bullied before you realized that you had the power to make everybody laugh?
Uh, that's a good question. I got bullied for a long time. Like it wasn't the fact that I was getting bullied. It was more like I had a lot of family members bullying me. It wasn't like strangers. Like more on the family side, because I grew up around like family. So they'll like bully me for like little stuff because I was like small, and then like I started growing. Like I didn't get big. I just got tall. So then after that, it was just like, all right, cool. And I was a hothead.
So like it went kind of demureness and then anger, and then from that comedy.
Yeah. So it went from like comedy came down the road. Back when I was on my first ship, I had a friend of mine that talked me into doing comedy. Like after I got off my first deployment, I had a friend tell me to like he's a BM. He ended up telling me like, "Yo, you should try to do comedy," because like the whole deployment, I was having everybody rolling. Like I'm talking about everybody, talking about people. Even when stuff was like getting bad, I was like that person that I can just say whatever I want to, and I didn't have to worry about it because I was unfiltered, and I was like, at the end of the day, can nothing happen to me? So I was like, you know what? It just works. I'm just making fun of stuff and like making fun of the bad situation, and they were enjoying it. And from there, I really appreciate that ship because my first show I ever did, the ship came out and supported me. Mindful, I didn't even know what comedy was. I thought it was just a motivational speaker. So I had to learn a lot of stuff.
Can you tell us what that process looked like, learning actually the skill or the art of stand up?
Okay. So what I had to do, my uncle. And it's crazy because like my uncle is like my dad in my eyes, right? He kind of like raised me. Like I said, kind of he did. So growing up, I was always watching comedy shows with him. I just never knew what it was. And then too, after a while, like we were watching it, I'm like, okay, I'm laughing, I'm understanding it, but then I just go outside and play. Or when he was tired of us being in the house, he'd be like, go outside. So stuff I saw on TV, I just say it to other kids, and it was like cool. And then now, as the process began of me doing it myself, I had to like watch comedy shows. I had to watch the art of comedy. I started going on YouTube. I was watching Martin Lawrence, D. Ray Davis at first. That's who I was watching at first. And then Mike Epps was on there. And then it just started turning into like, here go some CDs and VHS tapes. That's how I'm showing my age now because I have VHS tapes. So to this day, I still have them and I sit there and watch them. And then after that, I started getting help from like professional people who've been in the industry for over 30 years, Miss Barbara Carline. So that was a blessing in disguise. And then I ran into a couple guys from Jacksonville, Florida, Tony D. It was another guy. What's his name? Um, Call him Mike. He was one of the guys that like when I bombed, he got a video to this day. So I know once I make it, that video is gonna surface because we can laugh. We go back and laugh at it. So me learning from my mistakes, me learning that hey, bombing is common, and I was like, okay, cool. And once I start getting my name out there, because I ran into the comedian, like he's Navy famous, Charlie Tank Adams. So when me and him became cool, and he taught me some stuff as well, but it was stuff that like you had to learn on your own. I can't give you the game up front because he was still learning himself, but he showed me how to stay relevant, how to stay in the mix, if that makes sense. And then me meeting him expanded my territory of comedy. Start meeting more people just because one picture with me and him is a video. It's a video that me and him did to promote a show together. I started getting like some of his friends and it's people that I did a show with. I opened up for him back in the day. I didn't even know that him and Shay was close friends. So it's a small world.
Is that how you and I? Because like I know that like I just met you at that Fleet Week. Is that how you got pulled into that?
Yes. So for that, and this is crazy because this is the funny part about that Fleet Week. I'll never forget it. I was at my house, like as we could see, I was at the house on the couch. I was minding my business. I get a text message from this retired chief, and he was like, hey man, I got an opportunity for you. You finna get hit up from this chick. So, I'm like, cool, I see it when I believe it. So I getting a message from this lady named Danny. So it coming through on IG is called named Danny Deuces. So, I'm looking, I'm like, man, it's spam. I was like, ain't no lady this fine write me and like literally trying to have a conversation with me, like yo. Like I was looking at it, I'm like mindful, I'm like, is I'm tripping? So the more she texts, and then she was like, yo, I'm finna call you. I was like, all right, cool. So when she called, I knew she was real. And then she told me exactly like what she wanted from me, what they wanted me to do, how somebody put in a good word for me. So this chief put in a good word, and then Charlie put in a good word. He said that'll be a good opportunity for me, and it happened to be one of the best opportunities I could ever had.
That was an absolute blast.
Yeah, I wanted to do it again this year.
That's in Fort Lauderdale this year.
Yeah, and you know what's funny about this? I was in Fort Lauderdale back in 2018 for Fleet Week. So that would have been like a good comeback moment for me to host something that was my first time ever doing Fleet Week. So that would have been something like really, really personal, a personal achievement of mine.
You achieved a lot though. I mean,
Yeah.
I've gotten to sit, in a row that is very close to the front, thank God, and watch you perform like in like a packed out theater. Like you're good. at what you do.
I appreciate it. It took a lot. And then you want to know something that's funny? That team that we built, I really want to keep that team forever. If I can be able to make a team, I was surrounded with those people that we had that night. That Fleet Week team, I would literally have everybody on payroll. If I can make it, that would be my team. Cause that right there was like one. Even though we had a hectic day, and they had us running around like trying to like throw me off and telling me stuff at the last minute, like, "Hey, you can't say this, that, this, and this." I'm like, "You really gonna tell me this 10 minutes prior to me going on stage?" And then it was, it was one of those situations where I was happy to do. And then two, I had to show them like, "Hey, I'm not scared." I really wish we still had the videos and audios, but Walt camera took a crap. So
Dude, I
all we
still
have
have
this.
in my camera roll. I downloaded that picture of you up there on the stool.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I gotta frame that one. It's a lot of photos I want to frame. Cause I definitely want to frame the one like the concert when we was on stage.
Yeah,
I definitely need that one framed.
that was pretty awesome.
So yeah.
It's interesting because my impression of stand-up and comedy is that it is really kind of a potentially isolating experience. It's just you up there on the stage. But it sounds like you actually have a lot of really supportive people around you a lot of the time. How has that shaped or helped your development as a comedian, you think?
So for me, and this is a quick funny story. I didn't know stand up and comedy was together, right? I just thought you had to go out there and just stand up, and that's why they call it stand up comedy. Like that's all I thought it was. So at first I had to learn that. But to answer your question was I started before a show, I try to meet like two or three people, maybe four before the show, and I like speak and try to get to know them, but they don't know who I am. And so when I see them in the crowd, I have my safe spots where I know I'm gonna make eye contact, I'm gonna point, so it feel like you're engaged with me, especially when I'm telling a story. When I got my story mode going on, I want to make sure that I'm working the room, a left or right, right to left, center, whichever way I want to start. I just make sure I have my focus point, because as you can tell at the I used the Fleet Week one. That was a big stage. We in a theater, right? So I had to make sure I was able to walk all the way across. And I didn't want to lose nobody. And I always kept, because I went to an improv class and they taught me when I'm walking around, make sure I'm doing something as I'm walking, giving them something to keep their attention. And as I'm walking, I'm still telling you, and I'm knowing how to change my voice, change my reaction, because we are humans. The louder I speak, like say if I want you to hear me, I'm gonna get louder. And when I get louder, that's gonna make your attention come to me. You don't want me to talk to you all like monotone, like real low, because then you won't know, you'll like get bored of me pretty much.
Never.
I feel you on that though. Like when I'm teaching, having those like one or two students that are like nodding and paying attention, that
Yeah.
really helps to have someone like that in the audience.
That's like the best feeling, because I look for a pretty person, I look for a overdressed person, and then I always look. It's always gonna be a hood personnel there, always. Like, and that's the best way to say it. Like I don't know what else the other way to say it. And I'll be like, oh yeah, we know that's an OG. Don't mess with him. Like you just break the ice. You know who's in there to laugh, and you know who just there to be there. And then once I can break the ice on the person that's there just to be there, break the ice. Now the whole room laugh, because now you don't made that man come out of character, and now he's enjoying the show.
Yeah. I mean, I guess my biggest question that still kind of stands is, what obstacles did you encounter from the time that you started working on your comedy up until now that have kind of allowed you to hone your craft?
It was one of the things I had to understand that this is a slow and steady race because literally when I did my first show, I did so good that I was ready to go on stage. I did like 4 shows right after my first one. I did okay. Then they gave me an opportunity, and I'll never forget it. I did a show for my gender reveal for my son, right? Oh, I bombed. And when you bomb as a comedian, you know you bomb. I'm talking about I feel like I had to throw up for like 3 to 4 business days. Like that's how crazy it was. And I had to think about it, like, yo, I'm about to quit. And I was like, you know what? Why quit? You good. Because I bombed, but I gained over 300 followers off that bomb. And I learned that rejection, like, not all rejection is bad rejection.
Yeah.
That was another one. Like it was people that I was like, yo, I can't wait. I have a vision board. I have check boxes, like people I want to open up for, people I want to meet. And the more I was like, stay grounded and continue to do whatever, I was blessed to be on America Got Talent, got to audition for it, enjoyed myself, got to meet people there, a lot of other comics, actors, and whatnot, musicians, ventriloquists, and we all are friends to this day. Where I was able to learn from them because I would never act like I'm in the room and I'm the man that knows everything because I don't know nothing. But I like to listen because anything you say to me can help me, and I had to understand that sometimes people don't talk to you direct. I had to learn how to listen passively. So you might be telling me some good advice, but you're not even looking at me, or you might not even be saying it. You might just be pointing at some stuff, and like in a day you'll be like, "Hey, me, you went on the walk. Did you look at these venues? Did you see everywhere I pointed at you? They had their phone number and stuff. Go book your own show, book your own room, build your own path." So rejection was my biggest obstacle. And the second one was procrastination. That's the best way to answer that because I was always thinking like I wasn't good enough. I was always sit by my phone and be like, you know what? I dropped 4 videos. Hey, I got 5,000 views. They love me. Yeah, 5,000 views over $1 million planet.
I mean, that's kind of thing though, like by design, right? Like you should never be afraid to bomb because what are bombs supposed to do? Blow up once they
You
land.
right?
And that's what you're doing, man. You're blowing up.
Yeah, like it. And then that bomb opened my eyes. I became good friends with a lot of celebrities. People that grew up that I used to watch on TV with my uncle. So it's like that bomb was my biggest blessing. And the military also when they sent me to Hawaii, because I didn't apply to go to Hawaii. They sent me to Hawaii, that became a blessing as well because they had a comedy scene and I was able to learn. I was able to get better. I was able to know different types of comedy. I learned dry comedy. I learned dark humor comedy. I learned how they say it, like extra. Like you got some people that's going 100 miles per hour, but they are killing it. And then I learned patience. And then when I learned um, racism, as in different races. Like in Hawaii, you got everybody. So, and when they come into your show, I learned the Asians, I learned blacks, the whites, I learned Koreans, like everybody's there. So when that right there helped me a lot. So now that I realize some of the stuff that I went through, they went through too. Like anytime you hear somebody not growing up with a dad, they always be like, "Oh, that's a black thing." Oh no, apparently that's a lot of races that's like that.
Okay.
So that was one of the things that like helped out. So me bombing opened up a lot of doors. It probably opened up more doors than me doing good.
Today's episode is brought to you by the One Man, One Mic Foundation, $3 Water, Badger, Operation Gamify, and the Ink and Frame Collective. Check out the episode description for more details.
So you got exposed to a lot of different types of comedy. How would you describe what your style of comedy is?
My style is raw and goofy. It's just me being myself, and I'm excuse me. Is I just call it raw, goofy, and a storyteller. I like to tell my story, what I went through, and I like to bring you into my world. Like I talk about, I have all my characters, but all my characters is nothing but me. Like I have so many childhood nicknames. I literally named all my nicknames to characters, and I just built off of them.
So what do you think, Don? Do you have any grand insights on all of this? Divine truths, wisdoms of the ages?
Well, it's
Wisdom of
interesting.
the
So I have one more question for you. So it
okay.
seems like comedy brings you a lot of joy. There's a lot of high highs, even the lows you're able to, gain meaning from. Is comedy ever something that you turn to when you're not feeling so great? When you're feeling stressed or down? Is that something that can help you get out of those tough spots?
Yes. And the reason why I learned that from Marlon Wayans. Marlon did a interview one day and he stated that he don't want to hang out with you when you doing good. He don't want to be around you when you at your high. I want to be there when you have like your lows. And he was like, I'd be like, he'd be like, come on, let's go get these jokes. And that little moment, I realized I'm like, I go through a lot, like on a regular basis. So I'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna joke about it. I can get up in the morning, go to work, even though I know I'm having a bad day, I will still laugh and joke with everybody around me. And then when I get home, I will turn to a Raffi May clip or a stand-up um, special that he got out. I'll go back and watch that. Arnez J, like those guys are like people that I enjoy watching like countless of times. So that's like my go-to. Like I make sure that I do the recalibration. I go back before, like when I feel overwhelmed, I will just sit back, breathe, turn all my devices off for about 30, 40 minutes, sit back, breathe, and just turn on a comedy clip. Or I'll turn into like a comedy show somewhere, and then I will go to an open mic later on that night.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense to me. Um, and based on, all of the things that you're talking about, I think it's interesting to think about the science behind humor and the potential health benefits of humor. So, believe it or not, laughter is medicine. Laughter actually improves heart health. It helps to regulate heart rhythms. It brings down cortisol, the major stress hormone. Uh,
Okay.
it actually, over time, improves immune system functioning. So people who laugh a lot can fight off, disease better. And of course laughter feels good in the moment, right? So in addition to reducing cortisol, we see that it increases some of these pleasure hormones, as well as endorphins, right? So laughter can actually increase even things like pain tolerance in the moment. So laughter has direct health benefits, but from a psychological perspective, I think that humor serves a really interesting function, right? So one thing that it can do, exactly like you were saying, is provide a distraction, provide a way of altering our mood when we're feeling down by putting on something that we enjoy, something that makes us laugh, that can, make us feel better, regulate our emotions in the moment. The other thing that's really kind of cool about it, and I think probably is tapping into some of the stories that you tell about your life and some of the challenges perhaps that you've gone through, is that humor is a way of gaining a different perspective on our situation, right? So we know that a lot of the reason why people feel depressed, they feel anxious, is because of their cognitions, the thoughts that they have around their experiences. And that, colors how we intake information and the perspective that we have. Finding the levity, finding the light, finding a way to turn an experience on its head. And now, rather than dwelling on the worst components of it, finding something to laugh at can actually change your perspective on the situation, right? Now, a situation that perhaps in the past would have gotten you really down, feeling bad about yourself, you have more control over it. You now get to take the narrative of what that story means, turn it on its head, and change its meaning for you, and also have other people enjoy and laugh. So, laughter is a mechanism for altering our perspectives on our experiences as well.
So comedy, like making people laugh, allows you to control reality.
Yeah,
So if you're a good comedian, you are a god?
basically, yeah.
Okay.
You are changing your
Okay.
worldview and the people around you. Pretty powerful.
Nifty. Now, just out of curiosity here, is that why you laugh at me all the time?
Eh.
I don't even tell jokes. I just walk into a room, she just starts pointing and laughing.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's just the way you come in the room, like you handle stress really well. And then too, it's not even the fact that you handle it well. It's the side comments that we can be like, man, forget this person, dog. Yeah, well, they ain't gonna be doing nothing to us. It's like little stuff like that that can like change a mood. You'll be like, dang it. Like, for example, like the Fleet Week, how they had us ripping and running around, like, oh, we want you to go do this, and this. And we were like, man, you just don't want to walk over there. You want us to go over there. Like, we got on dress whites, you got on civilian clothes. Like, I feel like civilians should be over there, but you got us sweating. And then mindful, you got to think about it. We had women with us that had makeup on. They don't need to be walking all the way across over, like in that heat.
Okay.
So it was like stuff like that was was highlight for me when me and you was like hanging out. Like the fact that you kept it, like you told us what was going on, you kept us in the loop and like, hey, whatever you didn't want whatever you didn't want fed down to us, you didn't feed it down to us. You kept it to yourself.
Okay. Fuck them. Let them get mad at me.
I mean, but you made a decision in that moment. You could have been miserable. It sounds miserable. This idea of like being in the heat and your makeup falling off, like sweating off.
Yeah, like
But
Yeah.
by
understand
having
like
the
Florida.
side comments, you were able to change the mood, change the perspective.
You kept me on my feet, man. Me and you joking around through stress is like what kept me
Yeah,
sane. Although it was really awkward because he and I, like, our eyeliner started running. It was a mess. We pulled it off. I don't know,
yeah.
man. So I guess my question is, like, if you could go back and kind of like have a conversation with you at, 10, 11, 12, as you're kind of developing into this adult human being, like, what lessons out of this do you think you would kind of impart on that younger self?
I would have told myself at that age of 10, hey, learn comedy. Like learn comedy, study it. Go get your uncle to take you to a comedy show. Like get somebody in your family to take you to a comedy show around a town and see something different. So, and the reason why I say that because it's one of them situations where I wish I knew about it. Cause I even asked my uncle, I'm like, if you knew I would go do this, why you didn't put me in it? And he told me that's not my job to put you in something. You gotta want to do it. So I would definitely tell my younger self, like, hey, learn comedy. Hey, listen to me. Like, look at me. I am the future you. Learn comedy. And I have to talk to myself onto a situation where, like, you like money, you like women, right? Yeah, do comedy. Like, I would have to make myself listen
Yeah,
to
you gotta
myself.
find whatever motivates young you. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like this. You like cars. You like women. You like all the stuff that you like. You like cars, right? You want a Lamborghini, right? Yeah. Do comedy. Okay. Do comedy. Get a Lamborghini. Okay. Do comedy. Get a Lamborghini. Like I already know how my young self was. Like I'm gonna be okay. If I do comedy, get a Lamborghini. Or if I do comedy, get a Lamborghini. So now I put it in my head to like, hey, when I go to school, hey, what's comedy? Then it's gonna be that one teacher that believes in you.
Yeah.
And she's gonna give you the spiel. She's gonna give you everything you need to know. Like, hey, this is how you do it. This is what we got going on, and so far, so on, so far. Cause that's exactly how I went. Like once I started doing comedy, I had teachers from. I had a teacher from '04 all the way till '08. So she pretty much felt like I was her non-official child. And when she got the word that I was doing comedy, oh yeah, her whole mood changed. Like she was just like, "Yeah, I knew you could do it. I knew you could get away from around here and make something of yourself." And it's like stuff like that makes me happy. But I
I think
still have one challenge. I gotta prove my uncle wrong. So yeah.
you wanna give him a call out right now?
Yeah, my uncle
You
Mike, he
wanna
know who it
lay down a
is.
glove?
My uncle might know who it is. He always my uncle, like listen, my uncle will never say I'm proud of you. He don't give us no like he give us tough love. Like my uncle do not. He will call me a big dummy. It ain't no such thing as good job. Not with him. You just got to do it. You just got to do it. And if you prove him wrong, he ain't gonna say good job. He'll be like, "Well, you did that one. Don't fuck it up." Like that is my uncle.
what if you got that
Like
Lamborghini eventually? Would that convince him?
Or would you need to get him a Lamborghini?
shoot, nah. You know what my uncle gonna tell me? Let like right. Let's say for example, if I hit the lottery, or let's say I sign a multi-million-dollar contract, and I the first thing I buy is a Lamborghini. Oh, I'm gonna get called dumb. Yeah, he gonna be like this. He gonna be like this. Hey, you ain't got a house. Why would you buy a car? You got too many cars. Why you didn't buy a house? That's the first thing he gonna say. So my thing is buy a house. He said, okay, now if I buy a house for her, he'll be like this. Okay, now you being smart. So what you gonna do with the house? Okay, I'm gonna rent the house out since I'm not living there. Let me go buy 2 or 3 more houses, and then let's say I buy some land. He'll be like this. See, there you go. Now you talking. You still dumb. Then walk away. Like, it's one of them situations where like, okay, don't blow your money, but he's not gonna tell me what to do, but he'll just be like, hey, make sure you get assets, 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 assets. That's like his number one thing that he drilling into us. Like, get some assets. So if I had the opportunity or whatnot, the first thing I would buy is a, a couple houses. Start off like have a couple rental property, get some land, and then maybe down the road, maybe 3, 4 months, I still buy the Lamborghini. Just won't tell him till down the road.
You know, it's a snapshot even in this right now. Like I know we've talked a lot about it before and everything, but rumination is kind of the path to ruin for a person. And even just in this one little tiny conversation, we talked about something that's always eating at you, something that is cyclical within your own brain, and then you use comedy to break that cycle and turn it into something positive. And I think right there just provided like the perfect snapshot of the power you were talking about.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and for the record,
Like,
I'm proud as fuck to call you my friend.
I appreciate you. Cause
Well, hey,
it's
bro.
like, like I tell, like my uncle is like my biggest motivation. Cause like I know, like my the thing that drives me the most is to prove him wrong. Like, hey, I know I was a screw up, a fuck up, but hey, I got it going a little bit. But I have like it's like a few people like that in my family. It's a few people like that. But for him, and it's crazy because his brother is my uncle. He's the youngest of my mama's siblings, and he when I talk about them on stage, people like it when I talk like the youngest one because he talk fast. It's like my uncle don't even get drunk or nothing like that. He always talk fast, but I always make it seem like he's this like Coke 45, one sip, and he's all into it. Like he ready to tell me about me without saying anything about me. If that makes sense. So like people love that. People love my dad. Like and it's crazy, believe it or not, my fans love my dad more than anything. And I'd be making fun of my dad for like the first 3 minutes of the show. I talk about how many siblings I got on my dad's side. The fans they be like shocked. Then after the show, they'll come and be like, "Oh, your dad really had that many kids?" I'd be like, "Yeah, like yeah."
Sounds like if anything, you're going easy on him in the show.
Yeah.
So.
On who? Going easy on who?
On your dad. Only 3 minutes?
Yeah, because I do it like this. It's like I have story in my stories. If I know I'm at that 15 minutes, I just goes into the next one, ease into it, like, and I just make sure I don't stay on that topic long. I'm gonna get on there, say what I gotta say about my dad, because I'm always gonna talk about the kids. Like when I say the number, they'll be like, "Oh, that's unbelievable," and then you got everybody looking around, they be like, "Oh, your dad was a Rolling Stone." Literally, like I got siblings in Springfield, Massachusetts. I'm in Boston, Massachusetts. I got siblings way up there, all the way down to like Alabama. Yeah, my daddy get right. Yeah.
Well, brother, seriously, man, thank you so much for coming on. You are an amazing comedian. You're an amazing human being, and you're an amazing friend. And Uncle Mike, if you're watching, you should be proud of this man because he's incredible. I appreciate you, brother. And for anybody that's interested in what they've heard tonight or want to go check out his comedy, check out the description of the episode. We'll have all of the links to your channels in there. Thank you, man. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart, not just for coming on tonight, but for being my friend, being in my life, and being you.
Thank you. I really appreciate you and Dr. Laura for having me. And yep, if y'all ever need me, y'all know where to find me. At home on the couch. This is what I'm manifesting. I need a living room like this. I want to be able to wake up one morning and like play the piano, and my kids wake up and wife make up mad because I can't play, but I'm gonna figure it out.
Every episode of All My Friends Are Cooler Than Me is made possible by the One Man, One Mic Foundation. Purpose, belonging, and connection are often found in a life of service, but so rarely in the silence that comes after. The One Man, One Mic Foundation exists to help veterans and active duty service members find purpose through storytelling, belonging within our communities, and connection to the world through podcasting. Help bring them back to community. Find out more at onemanonemicfoundation.org.